We are going to continue to work with the order of operations. This time, I'm going to bring in more grouping symbols within our expressions. So remember to simplify using the order of operations. Our job is just to make the expressions look less complicated. And the order that we simplify, the order that we do that, it matters. That's why we have these rules, order of operations. So we're first looking for grouping symbols, which you're really used to calling them parentheses. But now we want to focus that, add this into your notes. In the same picture frame from the other day, brackets are grouping symbols. Parentheses, fraction bar. Those are all grouping symbols. So add that into your notes right there. Then next, we focus on exponents. Exponents are that operation of repeated multiplication, and we see exponents in the upper right-hand corner. So go ahead and put a smiley face in the upper right-hand corner of the word exponents. Then we have multiplication or division, addition or subtraction. Now, multiplication and division are on the same level. We work them from left to right. Go ahead and draw that arrow under M or D. Addition or subtraction, they're on the same level. So we got to look whatever comes first when we're reading from left to right. Let's go ahead and let's add a few more problems into our order of operation notes from the other day. So I believe we ended with 6 examples or 5 examples, whatever we did in your hour, it's okay. We're just going to be adding a handful of more examples. If you run out of room in your notes, go ahead and just do it on a separate sheet of notebook paper. Here we have example 7. So it's 7 because we had 6 examples with our first order of operation lesson. This is our second order of operation. We're just adding examples to it. So we have 5 to the second power, write this in your notes with me, plus 10 minus, on the top, 7 plus 2 divided by 3. So let's create our checklist. We have our grouping symbols. We're going to look for exponents then M or D for multiplication or division. Remember, we work them from left to right. And then A or S, addition or subtraction from left to right. So we need to simplify this expression. Do we have grouping symbols? Yeah, the fraction bar here, if I look at the numerator spot, I have more than one term, so I'm grouping those together. I need to take care of that first. My fraction bar here is a grouping symbol. So I'm going to circle that because it'd be kind of hard for me to do an arc under there. 7 plus 2 is 9. Bring down everything else that I haven't worked with yet and start again. Can I cross off grouping symbols? Yes. And you might go, Miss Clover, you still have a fraction. Yes, but this fraction bar here, I have one term on top, one term on the bottom. Okay, so we start again. Next in our checklist is exponents. Do we have exponents? Yep, so that's where we go. 5 to the second power, or 5 squared, is 25. Bring down everything else we haven't worked with. Remember, 5 squared is the same as 5 times 5. The exponent tells you how many times your base number is used as a factor. And can I check off exponents? Yes, I can. I don't have any more. So I'm looking for multiplication or division. I have division right here represented by that fraction bar. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Bring down everything else that I haven't worked with yet. Can I check off multiplication or division? Yep. I'm left with addition and subtraction. Now remember, they're on the same level, so we got to go from left to right. When I go from left to right, addition comes before the subtraction. So that's what I need to start with, the addition. 25 plus 10 is 35. Bring down what I haven't worked with. And 35 minus 3 is 32. Each one of these parts here, this is all equivalent to 32. We just simplified it. Let's go to the next example. Example 8. All right, we have 3 squared plus, in brackets, 2 times the group 5 minus 1 squared divided by 8. All of that is in brackets. Okay, creating my checklist over here. I'm going to focus on grouping symbols, exponents, M or D, A or S. All right, do we have grouping symbols? Yes, and I have brackets. Do you see that? Whenever we have brackets, that's telling us that there's another grouping symbol inside the brackets. And so, if that's so, we have to go to the innermost grouping symbol and start there. Whenever we're working inside grouping symbols, no matter what they are, you still have to follow the order of operations. So our brackets tell us to look for another grouping symbol right here. This is where we need to start. There's only one operation inside there, so that's nice to work with. 5 minus 1 is 4. Don't forget that this group of 5 minus 1 was being raised to the second power or squared, so don't forget to bring that down. But now those parentheses come off. Bring everything else down that you haven't worked with yet. And this 2 was being multiplied to the group 5 minus 1. So we need to make sure that we show that multiplication as well. Okay? And I still need the brackets around it because I didn't finish everything inside all the grouping symbols. And we start again. Can I check off grouping symbols yet? No, because I have them still. So I need to go back to my grouping symbols. Inside those grouping symbols, no matter what they are, I still have to follow order of operations. We have multiplication, exponents, and division. Which one comes first over here? Exponents. So that's where I need to start. 4 squared is the same as 4 times 4, which is 16. Drop everything else down that I haven't worked with yet. My brackets still have to stay around because I didn't take care of everything inside of that grouping symbol yet. And this is a squared. There we go. So back into the grouping symbol, I have multiplication and division. Which one do I do first? Well, since they're on the same level over here, we have to do whichever comes first when we go left to right. So multiplication comes first there. 2 times 16 is 32. Bring down everything else that I haven't worked with yet. And we start again. I can't check off grouping symbols yet, so I'm going to go right back in there. This time I will be able to, though. 32 divided by 8 is 4. The grouping symbol comes off. Bring everything else down. And now I can check off grouping symbols. Do I have exponents? Yep. 3 squared is 9. Bring everything else down. I can check off exponents, and I only have one more operator. It's addition. So 9 plus 4 is 13. Nice. We're getting a little bit more intricate with our grouping symbols, aren't we? Let's go to the next example. All right, example 9. We're going to evaluate this expression. Are you ready? So we have 3 times the group. That's a bracket. 2 plus 4 times the group on top, 6 minus 2, divided by 2. That's the end of my bracket, sorry. Plus 1 to the 8th power. That's a little sloppy. I'm going to fix that for you. So it's 1 to the 8th power. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to create my checklist. It helps me focus. So grouping symbols first. Look for exponents, multiplication or division, and then addition or subtraction. So do we have grouping symbols? Yes, we do. Now I see brackets. The brackets tell me that there's more grouping going on the inside. I can see the parentheses right here, but look at this fraction bar. I'm grouping 2 terms on top, so this fraction bar is also a grouping symbol. So we have the fraction bar, the parentheses, the brackets. We're going to start with the innermost grouping symbol, which is the fraction bar. We're going to take care of what is on top there, and I'm going to circle it since doing an arc wouldn't be helpful. 6 minus 2 is 4. Bring everything else down that I haven't worked with yet, right? I still got to keep the parentheses. Super easy to make a little error when you're bringing things down. So take a moment to take a double check. And we can start again. Can I check off grouping symbols? No, I still have the brackets, so I have to look. Do I have any other grouping symbol in there? Yes, I do, right? My parenthesis. So let's go ahead and let's take care of that one now. 4 divided by 2 is 2. The parentheses come off. I still have my brackets. This 4 that is directly next to the parenthesis, what does that mean? Multiply. So this time I'm going to bring in my dot to represent multiplication. You don't have to do that. You could still keep it. You could use a parenthesis to represent multiplication, but I'm just going to use the dot, 1 to the 8th power, and then I have 3 times the group of that. Oh my goodness, can I check off grouping symbols yet? No, I still have to work inside those brackets. So I have addition or I have multiplication. Remember, when you're working in grouping symbols, you still have to follow the order of operations. So which comes first, addition or multiplication? Multiplication does in my order of operations. So I got to start with 4 times 2, which is 8. Bring everything else down. I still got to keep my brackets around it, right? And we start again. Grouping symbols, I still have them, so I'm going to go back there. 8 plus 2 is 10. This 3 is being times whatever is in that group, so I'm going to use my dot to represent that now. Oh, I can finally check off grouping symbols. Do I have exponents? Yes, I do. This right here, I apologize. It's looking a little sloppy on my behalf, and I apologize. This is 1 to the 8th power. So I'm going to start with my exponents there. 1 to the 8th power is 1 times 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 1, which is 1. Bring everything else down and start again. I have multiplication. Oop, I can check off exponents. I have multiplication and addition left. Which one am I going to start with? The multiplication. I'm running out of room, so I got to go off to the side. 3 times 10 is 30 plus 1, right? Because I have this part of my expression left. 30 plus 1 is 31. Woo! We did it! Awesome. Okay, we have another example. Example 10. Here we go. Example 10. We're going to evaluate this expression we have in the grouping symbol, in another grouping symbol. 29 minus 5. Divided by 36 twelfths. That whole entire groupage of even groups within it is going to be squared. And then we're taking away 3 squared from that. All right, I'm going to create my checklist. Grouping symbols, exponents, multiplication or division, addition or subtraction. All right, here we go. Grouping symbols, do I have them? Yes, I do. I see brackets, so I got to go inside. There are more grouping symbols inside if I'm seeing brackets. Right here, 29 minus 5. That's my innermost grouping. 29 minus 5 is 24. The parentheses come off, but my brackets are still there. Divided by 36 twelfths. All of that is squared minus 3 squared. And we start again. I still have grouping symbols, so I can't check that off. So we're going to go inside the grouping symbols. I have that fraction right there that I can simplify before I take 24 and divide it by it. So let's focus on that fraction there first. 36 twelfths. 36 divided by 12 is 3. My brackets still have to stay on. Can't forget to square what's in the grouping. There we go, and start again. I can't check out grouping symbols yet, so I'm going to go right back into them. 24 divided by 3 is 8. Woo! The grouping symbols come off, but I cannot forget that whatever was in that group is being raised to the second power or squared. So I got to make sure I bring that down. Minus 3 squared. Now I can check off grouping symbols, but I have exponents. So that's where we're going to focus next. And I can actually take care of both those exponents in one step here. 8 squared is 64. Minus 3 squared is 9. So now I can check off exponents. I don't have multiplication or division, just subtraction. And I can handle that. 64 minus 9 is 55. Woohoo! We have one more example, and it is a story problem. So let's get ready for that final example with order of operations. Here's our final problem. We need to simplify this expression. Doesn't look like an expression yet, does it? We got to write it out. We got to set it up and then simplify. So go ahead and pause the video, write this in your notes. Mrs. Kluver gave you a birthday present of $100. Happy birthday. You bought 3 t-shirts for $12 each, an $8 phone case, and 2 pairs of crazy socks that are $10 each. How much money will you have left? Write and simplify the expression. We're going to mark the text. This is an avid strategy for when we're reading to help us comprehend, especially in math story problems. We're going to start by boxing in what we're being asked to find. How much money will you have left?
Write and simplify the expression. Now let's take what we're being asked to find and write it in a sentence. That will allow us to see, hey, how is our number that we're finding labeled? We're being asked to find how much money they'll have left. So you will have blank dollars left. Let's go through and let's identify key operation words, sentence by sentence, line by line. Mrs. Kluver gave you a birthday present. I'm giving you, you're adding money to you, so it's a positive $100. You bought, now we're taking away 3 t-shirts for $12 each. $12 plus $12 plus $12. An $8 phone case. We're listing things here that we're buying, right? And 2 pairs, and I'm adding to my list that I have there, 2 pairs of crazy socks that are $10 each. $10. How much money will you have left? We're going to be subtracting those values from the $100. Let's go through and let's identify those key numbers by underlining them. Go line by line. $100 is what you're given, so it's what you have, your total. You bought 3 t-shirts for $12 each. That's going to be important, right? The 3 and the 12 are going to go together to tell me how much money I've spent on the t-shirts. $8, I got to take that away too. 2 pairs of crazy socks that are $10 each. I need to know how many crazy socks I bought, right? Now go ahead and write the expression that would represent this story problem. Let's see if ours match. I have the $100, it's positive. I'm going to be taking away the cost of the t-shirts. I'm going to be taking away the cost of the phone, and I'm going to be taking away the cost of the crazy socks. Do you see the multiplication in there? It comes from those words each above. So now if we simplify this, we got to use the order of operations. So grouping symbols, don't have them. Exponents, no. Addition or multiplication or division, yes, I have multiplication. So let's start. 3 times 12 is 36. I'm going to bring down everything else I haven't worked with yet, and I'm going to start again. Grouping symbols, I already checked off. Exponents, I already checked off. Multiplication or division, I have multiplication. So I got to start there. 2 times 10 is 20. Bring down everything you haven't worked with yet, and now you can simplify the rest. 100, take away 36, take away 8, take away 20. How much money do you have left? $36. Here's an example of a real-world order of operation type of problem.